Do you know what the purpose of these are? Neither do I.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Bertini fam? Now in today's video, we're gonna be putting on some must-have parts for your GTR. If you've done a wide wheel setup, or you've gone with some really, really wide tires, or you wanna improve your 60-foot times, or if you're into roll racing, these are must-have parts for your GTR. Why are you always on your phone? What do you have to say for yourself, like always? By the way, nice shirt. Is that my old shirt?
It is your old shirt.
Dang, that's why. Good taste. Actually, I like the fit. Can you guess what's in that box over there?
I have no clue.
Go take a look. Look at the box. What do you think is in that box?
Something for the car for sure.
Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
There's no way. There's no way he just said that. It's large amounts of So are you ready to have a good time? I'm kidding, of course.
I knew that.
Now, if you have not yet joined the community and joined the Bertini fam, go ahead, click the subscribe button and the notification bell. This way you can stay up to date on all of our build series content. With that being said, go ahead and roll the intro. Any last guesses before we unbox the box?
Still have no clue.
All right, well, let's do a little bit of movie magic. And 1, 2, that didn't work. All right, let's try it one more time. 1, 2. Yep, that's right. Exactly what you thought. It's a rear traction arm kit with pillow ball bushings from Speed by Design. Exactly what you guessed.
Exactly. Right on the dot.
Now, do you know who runs this rear traction arm kit?
Who runs it?
Tom Harrison, Steve Tasca, and Chris Riggs.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Do you know who all those people are? Yes, you do. Stop it.
Yeah, I do.
I only know one of the names on that list. But they have really good 60-foot times, so if they got it, I want it. Now, I know on the factory ones, the bushings are rubber, so they get like all like nasty and stuff, and then soft and not all strong and shit. But these pillow ball bushings, they're really strong stuff. Do you know what the purpose of these are? Neither do I.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. These help us make the rear tires have a better contact patch with the ground. So let's just say you're like into drag racing or roll racing, or even if you're not, and you don't want to mess up your, well, let me show you on the tires. So like if you notice on certain tires, some tires have more wear and tear. I'm sure you've seen that before.
Yeah.
Well, that's from an off alignment. Well, when you get big ass tires like these tires for track usage, what ends up happening is the stock suspension is not used to such a wide tire like a 345. And so it kind of puts in like more angle on the inside of your alignment, which causes your inner thread to wear out big time. And then when you have expensive ass tires like these, that sucks because you can't even rotate them. So you're kind of screwed. So these are super budget friendly in comparison to everybody else out there who makes these. A couple $100s can save you like thousands of dollars in tires. So that's the benefit of putting these on the GTR. Yeah, so as I briefly mentioned, that's pretty much the benefit of having a kit like this. And especially the one by Speed by Design is a super, super affordable version. There were other ones that I was looking at, but the price point for these things are just crazy for what you're getting and for what they do, and they all do the exact same thing. So essentially you're spending thousands of dollars more than what this kit costs to do the exact same thing. It makes no sense, people. Anyways, we need to get the GTR lifted up. I think while the GTR is lifted up, I want to clean on the inside of those wheel welds because they're probably pretty nasty. So let's get the wheels off, get the factory components off, and we'll walk through that, and then get these new beauties by Speed by Design on. Actually, let me weigh these up really quick for you because I'm sure some of you weight weenies want to know how much these things weigh. Let's go ahead and get the scale in here. Okay, so we have 2 pounds, 10 ounces. So let's just see for both what the weight is together. We have 5 pounds, 4 ounces on the smallest ones. We have 2 pounds, 13 ounces. And then let's just add the other one on here so you can get a total weight. We have 5 pounds, 10 ounces. We have 3 pounds, 9 ounces. And then for both of them together, we have 7 pounds, 3 ounces. So what we'll do is, as we're taking off the stock components, we'll weigh those up as well. By the way, there will be links in the description box below for those of you who are interested in picking up this kit from Speed by Design. Now there's gonna be 2 bolts that we're gonna need to access, or 2 nuts that we're gonna need to access. That'll be a little bit easier to access if we have this pan removed. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the rear carbon diffuser just to make it a little bit easier on us to get to those nuts and bolts. What I've decided to do in this step, and you totally don't have to do this if you're just installing the Speed by Design rear traction kit, but what I'm gonna do while I'm here, because it's pretty nasty on the inside, it looks like it's never been cleaned over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna really quickly take the time, go through and clean this out real quick, make everything look nice in here, because it looks, I mean, it's nasty in here. Like, these parts are super freaking dirty. So I'm just gonna take a second, degrease everything, and then take my pressure cleaner and just go in and blow all this out and make it look new again, because this right now, that looks really, really nasty. And just like that, it came out nice and clean. No more dirt and oils all over the place here. It came out really good. Really happy with it. I did the same thing on the other side too. So both sides are completely done, and now they're just drying off.
Definitely looks way nicer than before. God, it's hot.
Yeah, it is hot. So we're gonna let this finish drying, and then we'll come back and we'll start installing the Speed by Design rear traction kit. All right, so now that the rear section is all cleaned up, I wanna show you some things on the Speed by Design rear traction kit. On these kits, you have quite a bit of adjustment that you can make. So on each side, from here to here, there's about 1.5 inches of room. Now that doesn't mean that you have 1.5 inches of room to play with on both sides. That's just the total distance that this goes into the bar. So 1.5 inches on this side, 1.5 inches on this side. Now what I would recommend doing for dialing these in correctly, make sure that you seek advice from a suspension professional, somebody who knows what they're doing, or of course take it to get an alignment and have them set it up to the specs that you desire. Now in terms of how this kit works, I'll go ahead and thread this back on here so you can see. Let's just assume for a second that we wanted a total of 1 inch worth of spacing. What I would recommend doing is adding in 1/2 on one side. So we'll go ahead and bring this down to 1/2. And then same thing on the other side, this way you have equal spacing. Then what you can go ahead and do, and I would recommend doing this part on the car itself, is threading these all the way down till they reach the bar like that. And of course, you would do the exact same thing on the other side. And clearly I did not do a good job with my measurement spacing, but that's okay, because this is just for demonstration purposes. So we'll go ahead and undo these things. With that, let's go ahead and start removing the factory components and getting the new ones from Speed by Design on. Something I like to do if I was taking these off and worrying about making sure that the locking nut is exactly where I want it, or where it was before I took it off is what I should say. I'll go ahead and just take pictures with my cell phone, or I'll use a white marker and just mark my points on there so that I know exactly where it was that I took off. So I would say the first thing that you notice between these parts is the thinness in diameter in comparison to the new Speed by Design part. It is like significantly thicker.
That's what she said. Oh, no, not that. Just come on, you guys, let's do it.
Than that of the OEM part. But if y'all remember earlier, this piece in particular was 2 pounds, 10 ounces. Let's go ahead and weigh up the factory one and see what's the difference on the factory part. So the factory part is 1 pound, 9 ounces. So essentially by adding the new rear traction kit, you are gonna be putting on some weight, give or take about 1 pound. But again, you're getting a lot stronger of a bar. And you're not getting these crappy bushings in here, which from what I've heard and what I've read on the forums, go bad all the time, which throws off your alignment. Now, before you go any further with installing the camber arm, there's something that I learned the hard way, and so I want to prevent you from doing it. Before you go ahead and lock down on the knuckle the camber arm, go ahead and remove the traction arm and install the traction arm first. Let's get back to it. Now the torque specs for these are going to be 53 foot-pounds at the subframe and then 65 foot-pounds here at the knuckle. All right, now we'll move on to our rear traction bars. So let's go ahead and get the factory ones off. Now that we've got the rear traction arm off, let's go ahead and get this one weighed up. Now, if you remember, the one from Speed by Designs is 2 pounds, 13 ounces. So the factory one weighs in at, let me get it balanced over here. So the Speed by Design one weighs in about 13 ounces heavier than the OEM one. Something really important to note on the traction arm, you want to make sure that the smaller side of this is facing forward and the wider, bigger side is facing towards the rear. It'll be next to impossible for you to mess up installing this anyways, because to get this onto the rear is going to be super, super hard because it's like a straight shot. If you notice on the rear, it's beveled to allow for some wiggle room. As you saw, super freaking easy to put on. So don't go, if you're wrestling with it, then you already know that you're doing something wrong. Now for the traction arm torque spec, you're going to be at 53 foot-pounds here, and you're going to be at 65 foot-pounds here on the knuckle. And finally, now we got to do the rear toe link. This one, there's the bolt and nut here and the bolt and nut over there. All right, now to weigh the toe links both up, the one by Speed by Design weighed in at 3.9 ounces, if we remember correctly, and the OEM one weighs in at 2.7 ounces. So the Speed by Design one is roughly a pound heavier than the OEM factory one. Now the torque specs for the toe arm link is 53 foot-pounds here at the knuckle and then 53 foot-pounds at the subframe. All right, now we finished everything on the driver's side of the GTR, so let me just show you here real quick. So everything came out really, really nice. I don't know if you noticed some paint in there. I took some time to do some touch-up paint. I noticed there were a few spots that were getting some rust, so I sanded them down a little bit, and then I just used DHT roll bar and chassis paint. In terms of the Speed by Design kit though, it came out really freaking nice. Everything looks really good. I feel like we got more bling to the car now, which will obviously help with performance as well as not screwing up our tires. As you can see, I've used with the factory hardware. Now they do sell lockout kits, but you don't need them. If you wanted to buy them, they'd just be purely for aesthetic purposes if that's what you were, the look you were going for. But the factory hardware works just fine with all of it. What do you think so far, Miguel?
Way easier to put on than I thought it would be.
With that, let's go ahead and do the passenger side real quick and get that done. Just finished up the passenger side and it came out great too. Now we just got to go ahead and get the wheels on both sides. All right, so we just got the car lowered, and as you can see, the wheel is kind of like those stand style cars. Miguel, what do you think about how it looks now?
Personally, not my taste.
Yeah.
I don't really care for stance cars in general.
Yeah, I feel like it looks pretty silly.
Yeah.
Well, Miguel and I just came back from getting the GTR aligned. Now I'll go ahead and show you on the screen the alignment specs that we went ahead and used. The ones that we went with are the standard alignment specifications for the GTR. From what the alignment shop told us, there's 3 specifications that you can go with, which is the road specification, the racetrack specification, and then the standard specification. Or I think the road one is called like around town or something like that. We just went with the standard specification. Now, I think this thing came out super freaking flush. Let me just go ahead and show you real quick. But that fitment is freaking flawless. This thing looks so freaking aggressive right now. It's like undescribable in words how great this came out. But with that, Miguel, what's your thoughts on it? What do you think of the kit overall?
Definitely way better than before. I like the kit more than just like what is it, stock?
Yeah, the OEM.
Just because it's just way more customizable and it's just easier to I guess use. But it definitely looks way more, like way meaner and just more flush.
Yeah, and what Miguel's referring to when he says easier, the ease to adjustment. So when we were adjusting stuff ourselves down there, we could do it with like the rear diffuser on, we could do it with like the wheel on the vehicle, so it's like super easy to get to now, which is really freaking nice. The one thing that Miguel and I were both commenting on though that freaking sucks, and I wish we would have purchased it, is the front camber kit. Speed by Designs actually sells this kit, so I'll go ahead and put it on the screen right now so you guys can see it. Both Miguel and I agreed that if you're gonna do the rear kit, you might as well just go ahead and buy the front as well, because you're gonna have to get a four-wheel alignment. So you might as well just do the fronts, because now what's gonna happen is we're gonna go ahead and buy the fronts as well, and we're gonna have to spend money to do a four-wheel alignment all over again, which is what I just found out today when we were getting the GTR aligned, is that when you do an alignment, you can't just do the rear, at least from what the alignment shop told us, that if you do the rear, you have to do the fronts so that everything is in sync. So this means that after we go ahead and buy the Speed by Design front control arms, this way we can adjust the camber, guess what? We're back at the alignment shop. We're back spending several $100s to get the alignment back in check. So highly recommend, if you're gonna do the rear kit from Speed by Design, which is definitely an A+ from us, you go ahead and purchase the front kit as well. It's gonna save you a lot of time and money. Just get it done. Buy once, cry once kind of thing. And the truth is, you're not really crying once, because the cost of this kit, relatively speaking, in comparison to other kits on the market, is super freaking cheap. It's worth doing. And then you can freaking fill up this gap that looks so stupid right now. With that, I'll include links in the description box below. This way, if you're interested in picking up either of these kits or both the kits together, you can find links in the description box below to purchase these items. With that, if you found this video entertaining or useful, do us a big favor, click the thumbs up. Or actually, even if you didn't like it, just click the thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. And trust me, our haters click the thumbs up too. So if you have not yet joined the community, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the notification bell. This way you can stay up to date on all of our build series content, and you can see more of Miguel's pretty face. On that note, make sure you're putting out good energy into the world and you're paying it forward. We'll check y'all out later. Bye now.